Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch. Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Want some candy?
Rocking and rolling through the crazy clock. Right out the stack, started to roll. Brought up the drums and he started to roll. Blind saucer, rock and roll. Blind saucer, rock and roll. I couldn't understand a thing they said, but the praise the beat just knocked me dead. Wow!
You're kind of echoey.
Rock and roll. I couldn't understand a thing they said, but that crazy beat just knocked me dead. Wow!
Nice. This is a good song.
Billy Lee Riley. It's a real good song. If it wasn't for Elvis, Billy Lee Riley would have been huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Monster Candy Podcast. Holy shit, all three of us are here.
Oh my god, wait, I got the perfect, dude, I got the perfect fucking promo.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Oh yeah, Monster Candy Podcast. All right, we're all together and Shotzi's here at last. 2020 is over, Candy Killers, so forget the past.
Nice. That was
So
very...
hold the calls and grab your balls, because this is Monster Candy Podcast.
God damn. Is he done? Are you done? Or is there more?
I'm done.
Okay, well,
That's it.
Yay!
very impressed.
Monster Candy Killers.
It's good to see you guys. It's been too long, and it's nice to see you at all. And I'm sorry that we what everybody listening needs to know that this I think that I'd like to nominate Screamin E for the MVP of Monster Candy podcasts, because you have tried so hard to get both Shotzi and I here at the same time. You tried, like, I think this episode, it's like been like 15 attempts to actually make it happen. So seriously, everybody listening, it's all E. This is E's episode.
Woo!
E's episode.
Go this guy. 2 thumbs.
Yes. Well done, sir. It's really good to see you guys. How's everybody living? How is everybody doing into 2021? A little bit of madness in the capital, a little bit of COVID everywhere, getting worse, a little bit of craziness going on in all purposes. I mean, Shotzi's in Florida, so I think nothing's changed there. Everything's fine. You guys are fine.
Florida just don't give a hoot.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of openings at the Village when you're ready to go there, because I think everybody old is going to die there.
Oh,
No, is that too soon? But yeah, man, it's just a crazy time. I don't know. It's like lots of crazy shit going on. Everybody keeps saying like 2021 like is like, oh, hold my beer 2020. But
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I think this is all, I feel like it's all expected.
Yeah, all expected, but I embrace the chaos.
You are a creature of chaos.
Fuck it. FTW 2021. Yeah. bring the ruckus. I'm a fan.
I'm down to get, I know that I'm going to be like phase 4 for vaccine. I know that Shotzi's an essential worker for Florida, so you'll probably get it tomorrow, but like, because wrestling is essential for that. But I think that it's
very essential.
It is very incredibly essential. But I just want it so I can play shows again. It's like, oh, is that what I need to do to be able to perform? Okay.
Oh, shows? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, or what, any venues that are left. I don't know. My bands are still kicking. I have a 7-inch coming out this month. Free plug. January 22nd. You can get Tsunami Bomb Still Standing on 7-inch.
Yeah, I get it.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Get it.
So that's
Get
something.
that 7-inch.
We probably won't be playing any shows for it, but we want to.
Whoa.
But yeah, what do you? Anybody else got anything going on? Like, does anybody have anything going on? What's going on? Talk to me.
No.
Oh, same old
Not,
for me.
not a whole lot. Write new songs. That's it.
I just wrestle.
You wrestle, kicking ass. From
I
what I
wrestle
understand,
now.
you've hosted.
Oh yeah, she's been kicking
Ryan.
ass and taking names.
You've hosted a show. You drive tanks
Yes.
over. You've had teams. You've performed. Like, you've been fucking kicking ass.
Yeah, it's been
And-
fun.
That's amazing.
She's been quite active.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You did a great job hosting, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, I was like, this would be better if E and I were there. But
I mean, well, duh.
since we can't be, and it's not about horror movies, I guess it's okay. But I mean, it was like beyond that.
It's only a matter of time.
But I mean, I just was like, two things are missing, like 2 secret ingredients are missing from her perfect hosting.
And
E,
she should have hosted more. She should have been more of a focal point, in my opinion. But
we
Aw.
are biased. We are very biased. I like the costume changes. I was very impressed with all
Thank
of
you.
it. Yeah. I was like, my friend is representing Halloween right now. This is fantastic. So
I'm
That's
like
how long.
Mariah of Halloween Havoc. Like, I had to get the costume change in there.
are the Mariah Carey of Halloween Havoc for sure.
you are a diva. You are a diva. In a good way. I mean that in a good way.
Thank you. I actually had 2 costumes planned, but they ixnayed them.
Oh.
How dare they?
You were gonna dress as E and I, huh? You were like, I'm pretending this is Dominic, and then this is my E costume. And then they were like, nobody's gonna know. And you're like, they will, some will. And they're like, no.
There!
It would not
You'll
have been the
find
first
out.
time. Would not
One
have been
day-
the first time someone's dressed up as me.
If
So,
we ever go to a convention again together, all 3 of us, we should cosplay as each other. No one will notice, but everyone will react weirdly to it.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it would be a thing.
my ass does look great in some workout pants, so I'm down.
Yeah, it could also potentially look good in some comfortable jeans that are black.
Or that. Or that.
How is Memphis Murderman going? You just said that you guys are writing new songs for a new album.
Yeah. Do a little 7-inch, I think.
Nice.
Putting some
Ooh,
finishing
another
touches on it.
7-inch. We got 2
Yeah.
7-inches in the house.
Crossing the 7 inches. But we'll see.
We're packing. We're packing
I-
a Goldilocks
I'd
just right.
yeah. I'd really rather just get back to playing shows.
Yeah, it's still a
Recording is
ways off,
cool.
I think.
Albums are
Personally.
cool. Yes, if it ever happens again. I'm pessimistic about it. I
I
think
think
it's
it'll
gonna be
happen
fucking
again,
weird.
but I think it's gonna be a while still, which sucks. But we'll do what we can.
yeah. So
So that's
we'll see. It was Elvis Presley's birthday, so let's give
Yeah,
a big
yeah,
shout
yeah,
out
it
to the
was.
king. Happy birthday, Elvis Presley. Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Are you like turning on echo? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he has it
Oh
on his
yeah,
mic.
because I got it at my fingertips on my microphone.
You can view or change it in the routine section of your
Now-
Alexa app.
Now my echo's talking. Echo, stop.
Call it reverb so you don't activate your echo while talking about his echo. He has a reverb switch on his microphone and he turns it on. Like
Hey,
how Echo
you
was
doing,
talking.
baby? Oh man, echo.
Special effects. This is a high-tech show. That's what's happening, man. We spare no expense. None whatsoever. In fact, we spent no expense on this show. That's how
Sure.
good it is.
None.
It's priceless. Monster Canley Podcast is a priceless show. We put no
This is the
price
most-
on it.
The punk rock, the
Monster
most punk rock
Candy
horror
Pod-
movie podcast ever.
podcast. Okay,
Punk as
hey,
fuck.
that's enough. That's enough Monster Candy podcast news. Maybe it's time for a different kind of news.
What's that, Dominic?
I don't know, Shotzi.
Horror news. Oh, yeah. Horror news. Yeah, horror news in the house. Horror news for your mouth. Horror news, we're gonna get it right. Twerking on that hard night. Yeah, horror news. Check it out. I'm twerking that horror news. Yeah, horror news.
Wow, the remix. I think Shotzi's got a 7-inch coming out soon.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's rock
Horror news.
over here.
If anyone could see it, she just brought the camera right to her crotch. It's perfect. Okay, anybody got some horror news? I got some.
I would like to say that, did you see the first looks of Kong versus, or Godzilla versus Kong versus Godzilla, whatever they're gonna name it?
No.
I saw a little bit.
Yeah, they put just like what was it, like 3 seconds out,
Mm-hmm.
and so you could see him. Kong looks quite hairy.
Yeah.
He looks a little hairier, like he's got a beard.
He's an older Kong. That's how you make actors look older. You give him a beard.
Put a beard on him. Put him a shaggy. He looks a little shaggier. But that was cool.
Did you
What
hear
do you
about
have,
the
Dom?
fight that's going on about that movie?
What?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bit of an argument happening. I'm going to give a shout out to Bloody Disgusting, as always, who does really great horror news. Everyone should check that out. Free plug for Bloody Disgusting. But apparently, Legendary Pictures was not informed about Warner Brothers' decision to bring movies like Godzilla vs. Kong and Dune to HBO Max the same day of theaters. And there were considering legal action. Apparently, they were really shocked by that. Because Warner Brothers kind of stirred everything up and made everybody upset. But Warner Brothers is like, hey, people aren't going to movie theaters right now, so we're going to do what we want. If I was them, I probably would have given it a shorter run at the theaters, like an exclusivity there. And then in maybe like target areas that like here in the Bay Area, we can't go to movie theaters. We can go to drive-ins. I would go to a drive-in of this movie. But
Totally.
But apparently, they had no advance notice. Warner Brothers just took it on their own. But the kicker here is you can't just say Warner Brothers can do what they want, because Legendary provided 75% of the $165 million budget for Dune, for example, and it put up a similar amount of funding for Godzilla versus King Kong. So Warner Brothers doesn't own this movie outright. They didn't pay for all of it. They only paid for minimum. So it's like they did kind of violate terms by deciding to do this. They needed to tell the owners, the majority owners, in fact. So
Corporate shenanigans.
Yeah, it was a little weird. They seem to be coming to an agreement about how it's going to go, but Warner Brothers made a decision for their entire slate to release it on HBO Max for a bunch of money from HBO, but didn't tell anybody. And from what I recall, Legendary wasn't the only one who didn't know. Like all of the movie makers, no, they didn't warn anybody. They just announced it, and then everybody was like, "What the fuck? My movie's coming out on HBO Max? What?" So this was a case where they did not have the ownership to do it, and they did it. So that was a problem. But the movie's still slated for May 21st. So I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait.
Too.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
What happened to Candyman?
What happened to Candyman?
Yeah, what happened to Candyman?
That's
They're
a very
like
good
candy is
question.
dandy.
I know that HBO Max had included like Devil Made Me Do It, The Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It, and James Wan Malignant and Mortal Kombat. As for Candyman, what is going on with Candyman?
Yeah, what happened to Candyman?
I'm sure it's being sat on like everything else right now. They're sitting on everything. I'm looking.
Just let
they're
it
searching.
go. Give it to me.
Open this pit up, motherfuckers.
The candy killers need some Candyman.
As of 3 months ago, director Nia DaCosta was commenting on it. It doesn't seem like. I don't know.
They just said fuck it. It'll get
Let me
out.
see.
When it's out.
I'm looking in real time. Talk amongst yourselves.
Apparently.
Question.
Oh, wait. Well, wait, oh, that's 2020. God dang it.
Here's a question for everybody. What is the scariest thing about 2021?
Oh,
amongst
August
yourself.
27th.
What's August?
2021.
It's coming out on August 27th. Yes, I see that. You beat me to
Kind
it.
of.
Well, now we know.
Spiritual
Knowing's half the
sequel.
battle.
Jordan Peele wrote the screenplay. Did anybody, I don't think I asked anybody this. Did anybody watch Lovecraft Country?
No,
I
is
did
it
not.
good? I've been kind of wanting to check it out.
It was great. I loved it. But I mean, I loved all the references it made. It had a lot of like really impressive twists. It's definitely referring to old science fiction and horror. There's a lot of Lovecraftian nods. I mean, I thought it was fucking awesome. But I saw some people think that it was a little like disconnected. They had a hard time with it. But some people are pretty stupid. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. I loved it. I thought it was fucking awesome. It was a love letter to Lovecraft, and it managed to tell its own story. I liked it so much I went and read the book, and the book is great. So I recommend checking it out. I think it's going to be good.
Will do. Is that on HBO, right?
Yes, it's on HBO. So if you have that.
HBO.
You watch any new horror movies that you like?
Have you seen anything recently?
Recently I watched the Shudder's history, or not Shudder's, but what's his nuts? History of Horror. Part 2, the second season.
Eli Roth.
Good. Eli Roth, yeah. Which is pretty good. There's some issues I had with it about the King Kong shit.
Tell me about it.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to do an episode on King Kong so I can elaborate more.
Okay,
then we'll get into it right now. But just some things in there that they're man, I don't even, because I hate talking about this shit like this.
Well,
just watch it, and no, King Kong wasn't racist. It wasn't a metaphor. So don't listen to Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
right.
We'll
do an episode, but there's enough information out there to know exactly what, where, and how Merriman got the fucking story from. So,
well, I saw The Pale Door, which is the latest Western horror movie.
Oh, I tried to watch it. I fell asleep 3 times watching it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was okay. It kind of reminded me of, what's that movie we just watched? Blood Vessel.
Blood Vessel.
Yeah, I think I liked Blood Vessel better, but I have a special place in my heart for Western horror. It doesn't happen often.
I have a place in my heart for anything Western.
Do you? Have you ever seen Bone Tomahawk?
Yes.
That movie rules. I love that movie.
Yes.
We should do an episode on Bone fucking Tomahawk.
I'm down.
So I watched The Pale Door because I wanted Bone Tomahawk. I didn't get Bone Tomahawk, but I didn't fall asleep during it. I was entertained. I thought it worked out okay. I mean, it wasn't the craziest, but the story, to give it a summary, was after a train robbery goes bad, 2 brothers leading a gang of cowboys must survive the night in a ghost town inhabited by a coven of witches. So, Shotzi, I think this one's for you because it's got witches and it's a Western and it's a horror.
I love witches.
Yeah, it's real low budget. I found it entertaining. I liked it. I didn't love it. I mean, it's not going to change. It's not Bone Tomahawk, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a high school play, and I couldn't get past it.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, it was
Like
kinda,
it was for it being the Old West, it was really clean.
yeah.
Guys, I stopped farting.
Can't
Well, that's
stop
on
farting.
brand. That's on brand.
It's a queer song.
What did you eat?
I feel like I have to keep
Yeah.
muting every time to fart.
I think you should just
let
let
it
that
go.
ring.
Let it
I think
fly. It's
let it go.
2021.
I mean, honestly, it's like if morning shows can make all those obnoxious noises. Did you just fart? Did you
No.
fart so hard it shut off your
Yep.
video? Because that's what it looked like.
You have to pay extra for that, man.
Well, that's- you know what?
That's on the
She's-
cameo.
You are a true businesswoman. Look at you. I
Farts and feet.
farts
Extra.
and feet.
You gotta pay extra for that shit.
I watched The Void again, and I'm sorry, guys. I still love that movie.
What? I love The Void.
You told me before you fell asleep. I have recorded evidence that you told me you fell asleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
No. Well, yes, I did, but I've watched it like 6 times.
It's the best movie. I've been wanting to do an episode on it, but I didn't ask you guys to do one with me because it was because you had said you had fallen asleep, and he was like,
No, I thought we already talked about it. I said it was like The Thing
We
meets
did.
Hellraiser.
We
it
talked about it.
deserves an episode. It's a good movie.
I
Okay.
love it. I thought the special effects were really great, and it
Yeah.
reminded me of my favorite movie.
Yeah.
I love The Void.
Thank you. I loved it too.
I thought we did an episode on
No.
it, actually.
No,
We discussed it in horror news.
We
Yeah.
just talked about
we
it a lot,
only discuss it in horror
Yeah.
news.
But no, I've shown like 5
Always a
different
bridesmaid,
people.
never a bride.
I've shown like 5 different people The Void, so I've watched it at least 6.
Dude, it's a sick ass movie. It's so good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It reminds me of the horror movies I saw when I was a kid. I just really, that's a movie, and it was like a Kickstarter backed movie too. So it was like totally, they raised the money and they made it, and it's not cheap. It looks cool. It's sick. It's sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think The Void needs to graduate from a horror news mention to an actual.
We could do that. You know what I did watch? Have been watching a few times actually. Scare Me.
Scare Me?
Have you checked that
What's
out?
that?
Yet? Scare Me. It's on Shudder.
Scare me.
It's the chick.
That.
I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's the chick in the, what's that fucking, this is a show with what's his nuts, the fucking superhero show with the fucking guy who's
I don't know.
oh my god, what was it, The Boys? Was that what
The
that
Boys?
fucking
It
movie
was The Boys. Yeah, that's a great show.
right. It's Homelander's chick that was in there for a little bit. She's in it, the Nazi one.
Mm-hmm.
She is one of the main characters in it. She's a horror writer. I don't know. It's funny and it's kind of cheesy, but it's good. You just got to watch it.
That's
I don't want to give too much away and explain it poorly, but
I
it
have
takes place in a cabin, in a secluded cabin, and they can't get away from each other.
I know it starts.
Is it a movie or is it a series?
It's a movie.
Scream?
Scare Me.
Scare Me.
Okay, I have some news that I think you guys will be excited about if you don't already know about it. Evil Dead the game.
Let's start.
So there's a
saw
video
that.
game coming out called Evil Dead the game, right? It's coming out from Boss Teams Games and Saber Interactive, right? So check this out. For the first time ever, all the characters from all the Evil Dead movies come together to fight the undead. Working together as a team of 4 survivors, you co-op play, exploring, looting, crafting, and managing your fear, and finding key artifacts to seal the breach between the worlds, or take control of the powerful Kandarian demon to hunt Ash and his friends while possessing the Deadites, the environment, and even the survivors themselves as you seek to swallow their souls. Now, here's what's awesome. Not only is Bruce Campbell voicing Ash Williams in the game, but Marcus Gilbert, who played Arthur from Army of Darkness, is in the game, and Richard D. Mencor, Scotty from the original Evil Dead, is voicing his character in the game. And Dana DiLorenzo confirmed that she'll be playing Kelly Maxwell in the game. And Ray Santiago will be reprising his character, Pablo Simon Bolivar, in the game as well. So all different people from all different chapters of Evil Dead are all playing the playable characters in this, and it's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, we'll see.
I
I won't.
video games.
You know,
Do it.
yeah, I don't play video games either, but at least it's cool.
I think
much
it's more
more
awesome.
we can get out there. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently you can make everybody get stronger too if you keep. There's like 25 different weapons hidden around. I have a feeling it's going to work similar to the Friday the 13th game where one person plays the bad guy and everyone plays the survivors and the bad guy is after you. So you're going to have weapons and stuff that you can fight with, but the demon will be able to possess characters and kill characters, then take them over and attack the others. You know, you'll be able to fly around with those noises, you know, hunting down somebody, trying to take someone out and get a body. And I bet it's going to be similar because since you guys don't play video games, they had an amazing Friday the 13th game where you could play as different Jasons against a bunch of different campers. I have a feeling this is going to be a tooled up version of that.
It'll probably be, I'm sure it'll be cool.
Dude, with everyone getting behind it, they're definitely throwing money. They're definitely throwing money at this. Apparently there's locations from
money
all
buys
the
a lot of
chapters.
things.
Yeah, like there's going to be the cabin in the woods. I'm sure there's going to be a medieval castle. I bet the graveyard from Army of Darkness is going to be there. I think there's probably the windmill. There's probably going to be a bunch of different spots from the show. Oh, that's pretty cool. I need to watch that show again. Ash versus the Evil Dead. That was a good show.
Just skip over season 2 since that was crap.
Yeah, if I watched it, I'll just watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
I don't mind. I didn't mind seeing you at the time.
If you want to be that way, you can do it. Whatever. Live your truth, Dom. Live your truth.
I will.
However you want to watch it.
But anyway.
Okay, so wait. Here, I'll read you what Scare Me was since I didn't really do a good job of selling that thing.
Okay.
Because, that's how I roll. I just tell you to do shit. You're supposed to do it. Anyway, so during a power outage, two strangers tell scary stories. The more Fred and Fanny commit to their tales, the more stories to life in their Catskills cabin. The more stories come to life in their Catskills cabin. The horror of reality manifests when Fred confronts his ultimate fear. So basically, Fred meets this chick because he's in this cabin, like taking a vacation or getting away from his life because it's all going to shit. And he meets her, and he's like a wannabe writer. Unbeknownst to him, she's like this super famous horror writer, and it's in the winter in his cab. So they end up being in the cabin alone together, and they're like, "Oh, let's tell scary stories," and they start like riffing off each other, and then it's funny, but also kind of creepy and cheesy, but in a smart way. So I definitely suggest checking that out.
Nice.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
You should.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where you could like rewatch or watch it or just like leave it on and just let it play and do your whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, this fucking part's cool or whatever. Just check it out.
Well, that's awesome. I have one last bit of horror news for everyone that I think will be pretty cool.
Gimme.
This was originally reported by NME.com, but apparently it's not going to be so much for us three because the three of us, we all have movie collections. And I don't know about you guys, but I think I own almost all of these movies. But NBC Universal has reached a deal with YouTube, Fear the Tome of Horror channel. Starting on January 15th, they're going to show 7 classic horror films for free. Dracula from 1931, Frankenstein from 1931, The Mummy from 1932, The Invisible Man from 1933, The Wolfman from 1941, Bride of Frankenstein from 1935, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein in 1948 will each be available to watch for a week. And during each film's premiere week, fans will have an opportunity to buy them digitally for a discounted price.
Sounds pretty
Sweet.
cool.
That is pretty cool for a lot of people who don't have movies or have.
Yeah, for all you noobs out there, check
there
it
might
out.
be some. I want you guys to guess which movie of all these I don't own.
Wait, repeat them again.
The Abbott and Costello one.
Okay, that's E's guess. Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Invisible Man, Wolfman, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Do you not own more than one?
No, I own only one I don't own. And
Abbott and Costello.
you guys are both correct. That is the one I do not own.
Same.
Yeah.
I wish I could trade The Bride of Frankenstein for that one. I don't ever want to own The Bride of Frankenstein again.
My God.
It's the worst fucking movie ever.
I mean,
it's so bad.
So pretty.
It's classic. And honestly, that last 10 minutes is amazing. It's just a very weird little movie.
It is.
It's so
very
bad.
strange.
But people love it.
Most
Anyway.
people will own these or have these, but I think it is kind of cool that YouTube is showing these because, hey, if it gets some more people into these really classic movies, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
The more horror, the better.
The more horrors, the better. I mean, horror.
The more horrors, the better.
The more horror.
How I got to horror movies was because of them just being free on demand through Comcast. Because I had Comcast growing up. And then I watched like I think it was I watched Dawn of the Dead. Was probably like the first like classic that I watched, and I watched it through Comcast on demand.
Nice. I think I watched stuff late at night on like cable channels and USA Network. I did watch Joe Bob Briggs's like original shows on USA, and then I would watch late night movies on HBO and Showtime because my parents had that, and they would show horror movies all different kinds, new and old. And then back in the day, I think it was Channel 2, KTVU2 in the San Francisco Bay Area. They would show horror movies like either on like Saturday or Sunday afternoons, maybe both. And I would watch these cheesy 80 ones that they'd put on. I mean, they'd be cut up for TV, you know, so like there'd be no nudity and no real crazy violence, but I would watch like some crazy stuff. There's still movies I haven't tracked down that I'm like, what movie was that, you know, that I saw in those days? So
being from Pittsburgh, they literally inject you with horror serum out of the womb. So
you don't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
You're just immediately thrown into it.
Horror semen. It's all horror semen.
Wow.
In there. Yeah.
That's creepy.
Hey,
all right.
That's Pittsburgh, man. Creepy.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for horror news today.
Horror news. And now we segue into 1950s horror movies. What is up?
Yes.
50 for our 50th episode, guys.
Oh my God, this is our 50th episode.
Oh, is that why we're doing this?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it all makes sense to me now.
That's why we've been holding off.
50 episodes, That's a lot of episodes.
I can't believe we've done that many.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with us.
That's a lot of fucking episodes, man.
Considering the fact that all of us have kind of AD&D, that's impressive. AD&D. Did I say AD&D? Never mind. ADHD. Jesus Christ.
D&D?
D&D.
D&D.
I play
30.
D&D.
You do play D&D.
That's impressive.
Dirty Deeds?
Done dirt cheap.
Done dirt cheap.
49. Yeah, so this is 50. This will be 50 episodes. Wow.
Yes, 50 number 50.
Do you guys remember what was the first episode?
The the 80s, wasn't it?
It was the 80s. 80s
Yeah.
part 1.
And then there was
Yeah.
a part 2.
The lost episode.
The last episode.
Hey guys, I have news for you. I have some other news for you. Today is January 10th that we're recording this.
Yeah.
2 years ago today, our first episode aired. Today.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
really?
Check
On
that out.
this is our anniversary?
This is our anniversary today, January 10th, 2018. We launched Monster Candy Podcast with episode 1, the 1980s.
Listen, guys. I know that it took so long for us to get to this fucking moment, but like I did that on purpose.
Yeah, it's all Shotzi's fault.
Yeah, because I wanted us to record this on our anniversary. Duh.
The grand
That's amazing.
architect,
That's
Shotzi
amazing.
Blackheart.
Yeah.
You know, you think you it's like you're wrestling, man. You think you figured out, but you're working this on multiple levels. And
Yeah. Everyone's
even a
just thinks
loss is a
this
win.
wild, crazy lady, but really, like, it's all strategic.
It's all
It's a work, man. It's a work. To use the wrestling lingo. It's a work.
I can't
work.
believe this. It's been 2 years. You fucking assholes. 50 episodes.
Well,
That's
3,
amazing.
Hey,
right?
we
3.
don't cuss.
3.
We don't cuss.
2018,
on this
right?
podcast.
We are concussed.
2018, that'd be 3.
2018.
You dry
18,
crackers.
19, 3 years. Oh, I was all impressed. You know, I did the math wrong. Yeah, 3 years. 3 years. 3 years.
Wow.
What's your
Just pretty
favorite
good.
episode that we did? Real quick. What's your favorite episode that we've ever done? Is there one that sticks out in your memory that you really like?
The
Maybe
80s,
Silver
probably.
Bullet.
Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet. That was a good one.
I've taught her well.
Oh
We
my
should do
god.
Silver Bullet Part 2.
Dude, I could talk about that movie all fucking day because it needs to be talked about all day. So
Hold on.
What's your
I'm
favorite
gonna
song?
look at and see what our most popular episode has been. I know we should get going on the 1950s here, but
dude, it's fucking Ghost Rider. It's Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider's your favorite?
No, that's the most popular one.
No, it's got to be the 80s.
No, I'm telling you, go look at the numbers.
I'm looking right now. Hold on. Our most popular episode of all time.
Well, actually, I think Ghost Rider is like second. Fucking Ghost Rider.
No, it's not actually. Our number one episode. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I know what it is. Our number one episode of all time is episode number 16, Halloween 1978. That's our biggest episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking at like real numbers. I was looking at
The numbers you're just going.
no, the YouTube ones. For whatever
Yeah.
reason, fucking Ghost Rider on YouTube was like, oh shit, load of people wanted to listen to fucking Ghost Rider. I was like,
Yeah, that's
why?
crazy. Yeah, because
Brad
terrible.
Pitt.
Number 2 is Hereditary. That's our number 2 episode of all time, episode 15, ironically enough.
Don't look in the corner of the ceiling. Shotzi.
Then number
Wow, I hate you, dude. I fucking hate you.
wow.
That was not cool. Like, now I'm really fucking scared.
Our third
Dry
episode.
crackers, bro. Dry crackers.
Our third episode is episode 8, The Gate.
And then you made me cuss.
Our third episode, is Ash versus the Evil Dead. Is our third most
God,
popular.
I'm just standing on the stairs, like, not knowing what to do with myself.
All right. So there it is. So it's our top 3 episodes is Halloween 1978, episode 16,
Why you
episode
guys have
15,
different-
Hereditary, and Ash versus the Evil Dead, episode 11.
Anyway, 1950s. We're moving on.
We're moving on. We're moving on by looking backward.
But
Yeah.
before we go, guys, go subscribe to that fucking YouTube channel thing because we totally neglect it all the time. So go subscribe and listen to that shit there too.
Yeah.
Who
we have
cares
it all
about
on YouTube.
Tubes.
YouTube's.
YouTube.
I got pee.
Do it on the show. Let's give them something to talk about. Okay. Yes, everyone should subscribe to Monster Candy Podcast. We have 49 episodes on that channel.
Yes.
We need to do more
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah, we do.
We
But
should
for now, just go there and fucking
watch the show.
77 subscribers.
Yeah,
on
man,
YouTube.
that's something. Okay. 1950s.
Okay.
We're gonna
Hold
each
on.
share our top 5, right? That's how this is
Right.
gonna work. I'm not starting because she's peeing.
Right. I think so. I think that's what we're doing.
Okay. I need to double check my
Top
list here.
5.
Our top 5.
All right. Top 5.
I'm pretty happy with the ones I picked here.
Mine was really hard to choose. I have a connection to a lot of these movies, and
It was
this was
hard. It was hard. It was hard to do this.
There is a lot of movies. When I was looking through the lists, because it's like sci-fi and horror, I'm like, man, the 50s to me are like the 80s. Like, it was just an explosion of everything that was just going on. It was a shit ton of movies. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I'll start with my number 5. Okay.
Do it, Dom. Do it.
All right. Now again, this was hard. This was really hard, but I'm happy with my top 5.
okay.
But this was hard because there's a
Let's
lot
go.
of great movies. My number 5, 1954's Them. The
What?
number one
Wow.
best large bug movie. The best. Never to be topped. Still not topped as far as bug movie. Fucking awesome.
Pretty good. That was that could have been in my top 10.
Yeah.
That's in my honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It was directed by Gordon Douglas, stars James Whitmore, Edmund Gwenn, and Joan Weldon. But here's the thing. It's just about atomic tests in New Mexico causing common ants to mutate into giant man-eating monsters that threaten civilization. I just loved this movie as a kid. It was one of the first black and white movies that wasn't one of the famous black and white movies that I had heard so much about that I just fell in love with. And it's always had a special place in my heart. And I love owning this movie.
Bug movies are pretty good.
That's my number 5.
It's like a never let down. Like, you'll never go wrong with a good bug movie. Speaking of bug movies, we should totally do an episode on Super Troopers. Starship Troopers.
That gave me straight up pause. I just froze and went, what?
Super.
I love Super Troopers, but that was not that was the last
should
word
do one
that
on Super
I ever
Troopers, too.
expected to come out of your fucking mouth. That was like, you totally threw me. Sorry, your effing mouth. Wow. We should do both.
The
now.
Starship Troopers.
You're
We should
dry.
do one.
You're
We should
dry
do
cracker
both.
mouth.
We should do Super Troopers, and now we should do Starship Troopers. We should do both in honor of that.
Super Troopers is probably one of my favorite movies. It's so funny. But yeah,
It is
Starship Troopers, because I just watched that the other night.
It's a good movie. That's a great movie.
It is, and I've had some issues with it in the past, but I think it converted me.
That's a
So,
movie that a
but
lot
anyway.
of people think is a dumb movie, but it's actually a brilliant movie because it's real
It
subversive.
really is.
All right.
It really
so
is.
what's
and I
another
think that
number
was
5?
part of my-
Who wants to go next? Their number 5.
Shotzi, number 5.
The Tingler.
Ah, that's a good one.
The Tingler.
See, that would be in my top 10. That would be an honorable mention for me.
It was an honorable mention for me. I was like, oh, that's so good. Anything Vincent Price is pretty fucking good.
I just think it's so hilarious. And I just love the Tingler. I had to put it in. And that fucking black and white scene with the blood.
Right. I remember when we were doing the list, and you were like, oh, the Tingler. And I figured that was going to be in your top 5.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
For personal reasons.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Tingler's a good one, man. I'll do the stats and I'll just give the quick stats on anybody. Obsessed pathologist discovers and captures a parasitic creature that grows when fear grips the host. Directed by William Castle, the famous William Castle, starring the famous Vincent Price, Judith Evelyn, and Daryl Hickman. It's great.
It's a good one.
Did we do an episode on that?
We did.
I feel like we did.
We did.
Which one? See, there's so many now. We've done 50 episodes. It's even hard to remember all of them.
Let me see.
No, we did, because I remember talking about how I
did.
really wanted a Tingler plushie.
I tried to find you one for the longest time.
I have one.
Wait, did I give you one?
Episode
did I send
4
you one?
Was the Tingler.
Did you get that from me? Did I buy that?
No.
Okay.
No. Nope.
Okay, as episode 4. That's how it was back in 2018. We did an episode on this.
Holy crap.
Crap. All right, E, what's yours?
This was hard. First, only putting a top 5, but secondly, getting the order right. So I'm like, man,
I know.
There's a number of them I could have totally switched out.
It's as hard to come up with this list as it was for Shotzi to poop after her Mexico trip. Go on.
Right?
Truth.
1954, Godzilla. Gojira.
There you go. There you go. Nice.
One, because it's a monster movie. And just, I don't know, man. A giant fire-breathing lizard wrecking shit. Aside from the whole, like, serious part of the movie, because it's actually really way more serious and dark than any of the other ones. But, dude, a giant monster pillaging through, Japan and destroying stuff and breathing fire.
That's my number 4, by the way.
Oh, me too.
Is it your number 4?
Yeah.
Look at you guys.
Yeah, those are nice, Shotzi. Wonder Twins. Pounding it. That's our 4.
So adding Godzilla and Tingler to my list really, really hurt me because it meant that I didn't put House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
That's actually my number 4.
And I'm really broken about it because I love that movie. And also House of Wax was really hard to not put on there.
Also hard.
Yeah. Real quick, Godzilla, also known as Gojira, American nuclear weapons testing results in the creation of a seemingly unstoppable dinosaur-like beast, directed by Isiro Honda and starring Takashi Shimura and
Takashi 6ix9ine?
Takashi 6ix9ine, Akira Hirata, and Akira Takarada. It's a great movie. It's a classic. If you haven't seen the original Godzilla, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's so good. And then what's the other one that the House on Haunted Hill is your
House
4?
on Haunted Hill was my number 4. Yeah.
Man, that is a classic right there. Classic.
Haunted houses, a haunted house, a double crossing married couple, you know what I mean? Parlor tricks, some random creepy lady that they never explained.
A millionaire offers $10,000 to 5 people who agree to be locked in a large, spooky rented house overnight with him and his wife. Directed by the legendary William Castle once again, and starring once again the legendary Vincent Price, Carol Omert, and Richard Long. It's a great one. Set the standard for haunted house in films.
But seriously, what the fuck was up with that creepy old lady in the closet?
I mean, there's a lot of people in the closet, E.
I don't know, but
there is.
Rules.
But that particular one, first of all, she does rule, but it's like, what? Wait, what? Like no explanation at all. Oh, there's some scary, creepy old lady that comes out of the closet or the room or whatever they're in at the time, and then that's it.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, it's just a great movie, man. It's just a great
and a vat of acid.
House. And a vat of acid too. Yeah, exactly. Why does it need it? I don't know. It does. It's got it though. All right. We just whipped through 5 and 4. Whew, real quick.
Shotzi, what's number 3?
The Fly.
The Fly. Yeah.
Another one.
Hey!
That's such a good
Wow.
one too.
1958's The Fly, directed by Kurt Newman, starring David Hedison and Patricia Owens and the legendary Vincent Price.
Yeah, VP.
Scientist has a horrific
VP.
accident when he tries to use his newly invented teleportation device. Dude, that movie's so good that its remakes were great.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. See, that was another one. It was like Tingler, House on Haunted Hill, or The Fly. And I was like,
Yeah, honestly, The Fly almost made my list. It didn't, but it almost did. It could have.
Any of those three.
I like that. I like that The Fly was also in my 80s list. And it's in my 50s list.
Wow, you have just book capped yourself. That's impressive.
Yeah,
It's
right?
that good.
Yeah.
That good of a movie.
My number 3 is The Blob.
Hey, that's my number 2.
1958, directed by Irwin S. Yeworth Jr. and Russell S. Docton Jr., uncredited, starring the legendary Steve McQueen, Anita Corsat, and Earl Rowe. An alien life form consumes everything in its path as it grows and grows. This movie is sick. I love it.
Dude, that, again, almost in my top 5. I was like, dude, The Blob is so good. This was super hard.
This was
I
hard.
love The Blob.
The Blob. That's your number. That's your number. What'd you say? Number 3? Number 2?
That's my number 2.
That's your number 2. The Blob is so good.
I kind of feel like the 80s Blob was on my 80s list too. So I'm like making full circle right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
The
think that might have
80s
been
Blob.
Wait,
The
yeah,
80s Blob is one of my favorites too. Like I love that movie. That movie
The
is
80s Blob is perfection.
Yeah.
The special effects. Mwah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dude, two scenes in the 80s Blob stands the test of time is the phone booth scene and the sink scene.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. The part I liked was when they were in the was it the police station or the hospital?
Well, the hospital is when he sees the body underneath the sheet.
Right. And then it sucks in one and it's the guy's reaching out for it. I think that was
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
But honestly, this movie
scene.
in the 1958 version, like anytime Steve McQueen is on film, he's owning this movie. You see why he's a big star. He's just so good. And then there's just like even the effects for that time, they couldn't be as horrific, but it's pretty freaky, and it gets all over the dude's hand and
in Technicolor, wasn't it? I believe it was in Technicolor.
Yeah, it was. It was Technicolor. Dude, so good. So good.
It was so good. It almost made my list.
All right. So we now know what her number 2 is, but what's your number 3?
My number 3 is 1954's The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Wow, number 3.
That's my number 1.
Me too. Dom, our list is so on today.
Yeah, we're really close, you and I.
And that's cleared my number 1 too.
That's cleared my number 1. Yeah, there it is. Creature from the Black Lagoon, 1954, directed by Jack Arnold, starring Richard Carlson, Julie Adams, and Richard Denning. Dude, that's your number. That's your number 3. Tell us about it.
Yeah.
You called it first.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons to love that movie, but for me, it's not too long. And it's a pretty straightforward movie. Like there's not a lot of shit going on in it. Mm-hmm. And plus the creature is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like it because they're all easy watches. But I mean, it was a super simple movie. It was like, oh my God, a creature. And then he kidnaps his lady. Oh, and then we're gonna go get it. Like, I mean, that's basically
it
what's going on.
Is one of, if not the best monster movie in a sense to me. Simple, like of its time, and it set a standard that many followed. It's got a great looking monster, a great build up. It is very simplistic and straightforward, but to its credit, and the photography is amazing. It's just fun.
It's super cool on a big screen too.
Yeah.
When me and Shotzi went to see it, it was, dude, I love seeing old horror movies
Yeah.
in the
I-
theaters.
A strange
so
prehistoric beast lurks in the depth of the Amazonian jungle, and a group of scientists try to capture the animal and bring it back to civilization for study. And that never goes wrong. Shotzi, why is it your number one?
Well, Creature is my favorite monster. If we're going just on looks, Creature is freaking cool looking. Like, he's so adorable too. Like, the first kill in the movie, super brutal. And then I love that we like see a softer side to Creature, and he falls in love, and
Yet
like,
another
so good.
yet another monster movie that's a Beauty and the Beast type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love those. I love those, like King Kong.
Like King Kong.
The Shape of Water that it inspired is a fantastic movie that definitely takes it in a different direction. I would love to see, this is one of those movies I would love to see a more true remake with modern effects. Would be a lot of fun, you know? I would love to see that done well, though I think Shape of Water is a fantastic version of it, a spiritual successor.
It's a good adaptation.
Yeah, and I like it that I even like that it's different. But damn, this movie's so good. It's so good. Wow. So okay, that's Shotzi's list.
It is.
I have a number 2 that I haven't said, and you have a number
Give
1
it
that
to
you
us,
haven't
Tom.
said. Well, my number 2.
I have a number 2 and a number 1.
Okay, you have a number 2 and a number 1. Okay, that's good. Okay, number 2 for me is a movie that when I saw it as a little kid, it scared the shit out of me. And I mean, it scared the crap out of me.
Dude, I wonder if we have the same number 2.
I don't know. The Invasion from the Body Snatchers.
Yep.
I love that. See, that one was also really hard for me because I love Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's a good film.
Yeah.
You see that?
Oh,
look at that.
Look at that. Yeah, there it is. Dude, it scared the crap out of me. Directed by Don Siegel.
That's one of the things I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Is that your number?
No, that's my number 2. But that's exactly what you're saying, dude. What's scarier than waking up and not knowing if you are you or if somebody is somebody?
Right. I mean, it's everything that the Thing has, the John Carpenter's Thing was able to capture and bring into that remake, which made it better than the original Thing. But like the Invasion from Body Snatchers scared me as a kid. Like that plastic black and white movie, like man, that scared me. That really stuck with me.
No, for real. Like
another thing that stuck with me when I was a kid was the old War of the Worlds movie, because when people would get shot by the saucer, they would glow and you'd see a flash of like growing up, you look at it, it's a cheesy skeleton. But as a kid, I thought that was terrifying because I was like this little kid seeing these like soldiers getting like vaporized, and you just see a flash of a skeleton before they disappeared, and that scared me. And then this scared me, the idea of plant creature pods that would like go inside your orifices and take over your body and make a copy of you and then suck you dry of all your juices. And then like just seeing him run around in the streets screaming that everybody's in danger was
you're next.
Yeah, I was like a little kid Dominic was very scared by this movie.
And it was in Gremlins. Come on, man.
Yes, it's true. It's in the background of Gremlins. A small town doctor learns the population of his community is being slowly replaced by emotionless alien duplicates. It was directed by Don Siegel, starring Kevin McCarthy, Dana Winter, and Larry Gates. It's a movie, man.
Seriously. Though, like, and we've all experienced this like sensation or something, like when you're talking to somebody and they're not right, like something's off about them. Even like when you know them, you're like, dude, what man, what's wrong with that person? They really didn't seem like themselves, and it's fucking weird.
No, that one's always got me. That one's always had a little bit of a made me uncomfortable. Like in the later versions make me uncomfortable. Like it's always like somehow that one always, the idea of getting taken over is just a scary thought. What do you think of that one, Shotzi?
I love that movie. That was also another one that was really hard to keep off of my list.
Yeah.
It's a super well done movie too. Like the acting, like everything in it is great.
Yeah.
In the way they pull it off and the way they act it, like so solid. That was, man, that could have been my number one.
Well,
what's your number one?
Well, let's do a quick review because E is the only
Right.
one who has a number one left. So my top 5 as a review is the movie Them. Number 4 is Gajira. Number 3 is The Blob. Number 2 is the Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and number 1 is Creature from the Black Lagoon. What's your top 5, Shotzi? Once more.
Mine is Tingler,
Nice.
Godzilla, Fly, Blob, and Creature.
Nice. Very close. You and I were very, very neck and neck. We just swapped a couple that are really interchangeable, really, for the similar reasons. E, let's review what you have all the way to your number 1.
All right. Number 5 was Godzilla.
So good.
Number 4, House on Haunted Hill.
Also great.
Number 3, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
And
number 1, before I get to that, I want to toss out some honorable mentions real quick.
Oh my God.
You cheater.
For monsters, dude, this island Earth had probably the best aliens of the 1950s.
Yeah, they're really cool. And they're badass.
That is
Super
so
cool.
great.
Dude, Earth versus the Flying Saucers is another one that I really like that almost made the list. Dude,
what was that?
Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Has anyone ever seen The Manster?
The
No.
Manster?
The Manster.
I don't think 1959. I'm looking at it. I don't think I've seen this one.
It's not a good movie, but basically the guy just turns into a jerk. Like, we're gonna do a science experiment, but I mean, basically, he just turns into an asshole for the most of the movie, and that's pretty much the Manster. So I thought that was pretty funny. The monster that challenged the world too, another good one, another good monster.
Yeah,
giant fucking caterpillar.
Feet without
Okay.
a face.
Yeah, that's a great movie. God, there's so many. Good ones.
Which is my number 1.
Shut up. Fiend Without a Face is your number 1?
1950s. Yep, 1958. I've loved this movie for decades.
Wow.
I think the brains. I mean, we've already been over it since we did the episode on it. Like, I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love this one. Was also a very hard one to keep off of my list. I love the little brains and their little spinal cords. Oh, they're so cute.
And their little eye
little
antennas.
Episode number 7.
Yeah, when they get shot, they're like.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Episode number 7, we did Fiend Without a Face. So anyone wants to hear us expand on this. But for those who haven't heard it, this is from 1958. Invisible atomic monsters attack U.S. Armed Force Base and the local residents, directed by Arthur Crabtree and starring Marshall Thompson, Terry Kilborn, and Keniston Reeves. It is a great movie.
It is a good one.
It's pretty silly and awesome.
It's still, it was tough because Invasion of the Body Snatchers is it's like The Thing. Like, it's such a well done movie. Like, everything about it is well done.
It's a tight movie. It is a tight movie.
Right. But Fiend Without a Face, the goddamn brains. I love them. I love
They're
those
so-
little things.
I mean, I could have swapped I don't think I could have swapped anything. Actually, I said I was happy with my list. I am. I stand by these top 5. This is a top 5 for me. I want to know
Simpson. I
if
stick
you're
by my
listening,
story.
if you're listening and you guys start commenting on our posts about this episode, let us know what your top 5 1950s movies are. I want to hear, because there's so many good ones. Like Shotzi's and E's lists made me feel guilty for not naming those movies because they deserve to be in the top 5. I'm glad they're in your guys' top 5. Because
Dude, it was super hard. Another one, The Day the Earth Stood Still,
oh god, that movie
Yeah.
is one of the best.
right? Like
You
there's
know,
so many. I'm like, man, yeah, you're right. You kind of feel bad for not putting it on there, you know?
yeah, Day the Earth Stood Still is that.
Not the Keanu Reeves one. That one's so bad. I watched that
No.
the other day.
The original
It's so
movie,
bad.
I so should have. Like, I almost feel like, yeah, like hearing that title again, like I'm like, that should have been in my top 5. It's definitely my top 10. It's anyone's guess where I could have put that, but it's like hard for me. I guess it's a better movie than them, I guess. So it could probably take that spot and then push them to number 6. But I mean, other than that, like it's so hard. Like it's such a personal thing. There's so many good movies in the 50s.
Shit, I might want to change my number 1. I'm just thinking about it.
What would you change it to?
Silver Bullet.
Jesus.
Stop it. That's not
Well,
the 50s.
No, I'm gonna. That movie transcends decades. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, number 1, Fiend Without a Face, because that movie's badass. The brains are badass. The acting, not that badass, but it's fun. So my only gripe with it is it is a little bit long.
right.
It drags a little bit, but again, the brains make up for it.
Yeah. Okay. As just to show that we aren't above this, do you guys want to guess what our least listened to episode is of all time? It's not Silver Bullet anymore. By the
Ooh.
way, I think
Oh,
we've
is it-
mentioned that episode so many times that
it-
eventually we've guilt tripped people into listening to that episode. It actually has decent numbers now. It actually sits like right in the higher middle. But
Blood Vessel.
you know, you'd think that would be low because it's the newest one, but it's not. There's one lower than that.
Hold on, let me review. Let me review what the episodes were.
I have no
Shotzi,
idea.
do you don't have any idea? No idea?
I'm
No.
gonna say Freaks.
Okay, that's a good guess. That's a good guess. Not correct.
Which is weird, because you would think people would want to listen to that one.
Freaks, what episode was that? Let me see. If I find it, I can tell you what. Okay, Freaks.
18.
Was
Freaks
it
did
Feet
good.
Without a Face?
No.
Damn it.
Fiend Without a Face is actually really popular. That's really high up.
Because apparently people have taste out there.
Maniac is our lowest listen from 1980.
What?
Episode
Oh,
41
you
is our
people
lowest
suck.
listening. That's the least popular episode of Monster Candy Podcast. Episode 41, Maniac from 1980.
That's bullshit. More people. Dude, you know what? I mean, I know a lot of people have watched it, but I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have not.
Yeah,
seen
another
it.
low one after that would be, ironically, Train to Busan from 2016, which is a great movie and people should listen to it. But it's also a newer episode, so it's a little lower still. But I don't know. Right now,
And that's another one I don't think people were hit to.
yeah. Wow. So there it is.
So
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think
should
if
check
more
out
people
Train to
watch that.
Busan, The Maniac.
I think that people might not watch. Some people don't watch foreign films because they can't read the subtitles fast enough. So that might be why some of our American audience has avoided it. But they're making a mistake because that's one of the best zombie movies I've seen, especially in recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
You're missing out on a great movie. But Maniac is just kind of a fun fucking movie. I'm surprised that people are just like, I don't care about that movie. But that's our least. That's our least listened to episode by a lot.
Come on, everybody. Joe Spinell needs your love.
So Silver Bullet is no longer our donkey episode.
Good.
Our donkey episode is Maniac. For a long time, Silver Bullet was the least listened to episode for like a good year there.
Fucking insane.
So now you got to figure out a way to mention Maniac in every episode.
I will. Hey, believe me, Joe Spinell, he's the man. And again, I stand by my statement that every woman needs a man like him.
That is so funny. Wow.
Into it.
I just realized The Shape of Water was our second episode. Man, that's
that
crazy.
We put out first. Didn't we put that one out first?
No.
No, we put 80s out first.
80s came out and then
first.
That was like a week later. That's crazy. It took us a little while to get to stuff. We gotta, guys, I gotta say, we have a pretty legit collection of episodes here. 50 episodes. That's great. I'm proud of us.
Especially for us, at least some of us being scattered around the world, around the country.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot changed in 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years ago, Shotzi was just a glimmer in NXT's eye.
It's true.
You were just starting, or you'd started with Hood Slam, right?
She was in Hood Slam and stuff already. Yeah.
Yeah, she was going.
She was on the indie.
No, that's true. You were already doing Hood Slam by that time. So you'd already started on your wrestling. Because I remember when you told me at the now closed Uptown that you were starting wrestling, and I was like drinking at your bar.
Yeah.
At a show, and you told me you were going to start wrestling, and I was like, "That's
rest in peace, Uptown, R.I.P."
Yeah,
R.I.P.
But damn, 50 episodes, guys! Congratulations! 3 years we've been at this. That's fucking nuts.
I'd like to congratulate us, and I'd like to say we all did a great job.
I'd like to say that we're amazing, and I love us.
I'd like to congratulate our recording crew and editors who work tirelessly to make sure the episodes go up in time. I'm, of course, speaking about myself. I think that deserves certain special recognition. But yeah, this is great, man. 50
that guy
episodes.
does a good job.
3 years. Fucking 3 years. I would not have. I don't know if I would have. I mean, I don't know. Monster Candy Podcast has been going for a while. I'm kind of proud of us on this.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing is people still listen to it.
They do. They do listen to it. That's so crazy. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning in on this episode.
Before we go, I want to give a shout out to Time Bomb Toys out in Pittsburgh, PA.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go get all your horror toys and masks and all your goodies, check out Time Bomb Toys. Also, Death Comes Lifting out of Pittsburgh for all your weightlifting wardrobe accessories. They got cool shirts. I posted me wearing one a few weeks ago, but it's an all horror themed workout clothing type deal. So check those guys out, and they have a podcast too. And do
That's awesome.
Other cool shit. So check them out.
Yeah. I'll prop something I recently discovered. I recently started playing a board game called Brutality. That's pretty awesome. It's kind of medieval combat game, and it's super easy and fun and brutal, and it's kind of fun. It borderlines into horror, but not really, but a little bit, about as much as any board game does, I think. That isn't directly themed around a movie, but that I give them. They're an independent company. I'm gonna give them a shout out. Any shout outs, Shotzi?
To myself, watch me wrestle every Wednesday on the USA Network.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And again, a shout out to Shudder, Joe Bob Briggs, and Darcy the Mail Girl for keeping everybody going during this quarantine with the last season and their specials that they always do. And Shudder is just killing it still. and I'm appreciative of them. So,
Hell yeah,
shout
better
out
roll.
Shudder. Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for listening to yet another episode. Thank you for celebrating 3 years and 50 episodes with us. And I hope you if you haven't seen any of the movies we mentioned, please go out and check them out. They are totally worth your time. Guys, it's always a pleasure.
I would hope people have seen most of those or all of them.
I'm interested in seeing what people challenge us and say what their top 50. I want to hear some other movies that make me feel guilty. Make me doubt my list. It's tough. The only one that has made me doubt my list is The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is a fantastic film. And The Fly and the you guys, yeah.
Dude, there's just so much. There's so many. Like there's some shit I'm like, I've never even
House on
heard of
Haunted
this
Hill.
one before.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish there was a channel that just aired or Shudder had a whole thing that was all the 50s crazy B movies, just airing them. Anyway. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time on Monster Candy Podcast.
Eat a fly.
You've been listening to Monster Candy Podcast. Want to find out more about the show? Find us on the web at monstercandypodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Monster Candy Podcast. And you can find our Twitter at MonsterCNDYPC. Hey, we couldn't fit the whole name. What do you want from us? Let us know what you think of the show and if we're right or if we're wrong or what you want us to tackle next. We want to hear from you. Well, Shotzi and I do, but I can promise that E doesn't really care. To find out more about Shotzi Blackheart and her professional wrestling, follow her Twitter at Shotzi Black or her Instagram at Shotzi Blackheart. You can follow Screamin E's band, the Memphis Murder Men, on Facebook at TMMM official page or his Instagram at Screamin E. That's screaming with no G, add the E. For me, Dominic Davi, you can find my artwork at dominicdavi.com, my band Tsunami Bomb at tsunamibomb.net, and you can hear my other podcast, 3 Gigs, at 3gigspodcast.com or on the same platform you're hearing this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Monster Candy Podcast.
Suck my peanuts.